Hey everyone, welcome back to Gracenote Forge. So today I got another quick review for you guys, and I'm going to be checking out this 2-burner forge from Vevor to see how it holds up to some blacksmithing work and just to test its overall performance. And just a quick disclaimer, Vevor did send me this unit for free, but just like my other videos, I'm not obligated to only say nice things or anything. This is just my honest thoughts on the kit. So this forge is currently listed for about $110 US on the Vevor website. And you can see almost everything that's included is kind of packed inside the forge. So be careful getting it out because the kale wool is pretty soft and can damage pretty easy. But you can see it comes with the dual gas valves, 1.5 fire bricks for the floor of the forge, the 2 Venturi style burners, the propane gas regulator, and of course the forge itself. And something I really wish came with the kit is a way to properly seal this kale wool. So this is ceramic fiber cloth, and it's really not a good idea to leave it bare like this. You can see it's made of these fine fibers, and during use those fibers break down and can become airborne particles that are really harmful to breathe in. So typically kale wool like this is coated in a kind of refractory cement to help seal those fibers in place and also add some durability. And these are the same steps that I did on my old homemade forge, so I do have some of these materials on hand. But I'll leave links down below to where you can find this stuff because it is pretty important. So I'm going to start by applying some of this Rigidizer, and you can see I have some in this spray bottle mixed with a bit of food coloring, but basically this stuff just helps bind those ceramic fibers together and stiffens them up. So I'm just going to spray this stuff all along the inside of the forge and try to get a pretty even coating. That food coloring helps to see where I sprayed because this stuff is normally clear. But once that's left to cure for at least 24 hours, the kale wool becomes much more firm to the touch, making it a really good base for adding the refractory. So this stuff is pretty messy, so I'm going to start off by masking off the outside edge with some tape, and then mix up some of the refractory. So this is some Satanite, and it's the same stuff that I used in my other forge. It's really durable and handles the heat really well. So I'm just going to mix some up by adding a little bit at a time. I'm just going to pour some into a cup and then add a little bit of water. And as I stir, I'm looking for kind of a sour cream consistency. But once that's good, I'm going to go ahead and start brushing that on. So I found it best to kind of start in the middle and reach in from both sides, really making sure you can get to those hard to reach spots. But once that's pretty evenly coated, that is also left to dry and cure. I left mine for about 48 hours, but once that's dry, it's ready to fire up. So I have the regulator hooked up to the propane tank here, and it's turned up just under halfway, and the other end is already hooked up to the dual valves with both of those turned off, and I'm just going to open it up to get it started. And I did use some thread tape at the end of the hose, which I'm going to test for leaks using some soapy water. You're really supposed to use the thicker yellow thread tape, but the white tape is all I have on hand at the moment. I don't see any leaks with the soapy water, so I'm going to give it a test. I have both of the chokes fully closed off, and I'm just going to turn on one of the valves a little bit to start, and then light it with a torch. Then I can open up the choke a little bit, and you can really hear the sweet spot of when that air starts to suck into the burner. But once that's going good, I'm just going to let that warm up, and then I can open up the valve on the other burner. And after a couple minutes, it's pretty well heated up. I did end up adding a couple fire bricks on both ends of the forge, just to help kind of contain that heat a little better. But after tossing in some 1/2 inch round stock, you can see there is a nice big yellow section of where that's heated up. And this is with both burners going at what I think is around 15 psi. It is hard to tell with the regulator that they give you. There isn't any kind of pressure gauge on it, so you can't really see the exact psi that you're using. I would say that is a pretty worthwhile upgrade to get a better regulator. And I did end up turning off one of the burners while I was working, just to save on fuel. To start, I'm really just testing it on some smaller objects, and once the forge is fully heated up, I found that just with one burner, you can really sustain that heat pretty well. You really only need 2 burners, honestly, if you're doing stuff that's a little bit bigger, or if you're attempting to forge weld, which is something that this forge is supposedly capable of. So it's nice that it can be a little versatile depending on what you're working on. So I'm going to finish forging out this larger hook here, and I'll probably end up drilling out the mounting holes later on. But larger hooks like this actually would have just barely fit in my old forge, so it's nice to have a little bit of extra room. Alright, so I mentioned that this unit is supposed to be able to get up to forge welding temperature, which is around 2300 or 2400 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to test that with this Type K thermocouple here. And I went ahead and drilled a hole in one of my fire bricks so I can get the probe through. I also have both burners going now and turned up the PSI to almost full blast. And this is almost at the limit of what this thermocouple can do. I think it's rated to max out at about 2400 degrees. But you can see after a few seconds, it kind of tops out at around 2250. And this is near the outside where it's probably a little colder. I'm sure right in the center of the burners, it's probably at least a couple hundred degrees hotter. So I would say this is absolutely within that range of forge welding. So we'll see how this forge holds up over time, but after spending the day testing it out on several different projects, my first impressions are pretty positive. I do think it's capable of a pretty good range of work, from larger stuff to smaller stuff. I do want to mention that while you can shut off one of the burners to save on fuel, you do really need to kind of keep an eye on it, because with that off, it kind of acts as a chimney for all that heat. So after about 10 to 15 minutes, I noticed that it was starting to melt off the stickers. So that's really something to keep an eye on, because you really don't want to end up melting the hose. So I do think there is a lot of room for improvement for forge kits like this. I know that it would be probably really difficult to ship with and also drive up the cost for these beginner forge kits, but I really wish that they would include some kind of refractory or sealant with them. That step is just really important and shouldn't be overlooked. I'd also highly recommend upgrading the regulator too, to something with a gauge so you can see what PSI you're using. But other than that, I do think it's a really nice forge, and I'm excited to have something a little bit bigger to do some stuff like sword making. Just for fun, wrapping up at the end of the day, I just tossed in this old lawnmower blade. I did run out of time, so I'm not going to be able to finish this today, but I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of use out of this forge for some future projects. If you're interested in picking up this forge for yourself and also want to help support my work, I'll leave an affiliate link below to where you can find this exact model. But that's it for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.